Hey everybody, so I'm Sarah Pip Rose and I'm coming from you at the beach with Dr. Francesca Lyn.
Hey, I'm glad that you took up some time from your vacation to talk to me. It looks really nice.
Thanks. I just want to be there because we're not allowed to be. So I'm like, yeah.
I feel like we can do it now, right? Like it's allowed.
Is it Memorial Day? I
Is
don't
it?
I think
Maybe.
you can go now, but it's like you have to run through. You can't you can't
Yeah.
you can't be doing interviews lounging.
Oh, okay. Could we do sit-ups at the same time? I don't know why I'm saying that. Like I can do sit-ups. I can't do sit-ups. Um,
That's exercise.
yeah, we can, I don't know. We could do Tai Chi. That's exercise. I wonder how far people are going to push it. Like, are there people claiming they're jogging, but they're not?
Just jog in place.
I don't know. Yeah. Like, I know in Italy, there are people walking pets that didn't need to be walked because you were allowed to go outside without. So there are people with like a goldfish on a leash.
I want to see that.
I can send you the link. Or like people walking like a stuffed animal dog.
Yeah. I think my neighborhood does that because I keep seeing all these people I've never seen in my life. And I'm like, where are you, children and your dogs and wherever else? I've never seen you before. But yeah, so you're a doctor?
I am, but like not one that like fixes people. One that like makes people worse because I'm like a humanities doctor. So I'm a doctorate of philosophy, which just means I went to school for a really long time. Yeah.
Where did you go to college?
I went to undergrad, I went to University of Florida, and then I went to VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University for grad school.
So why'd you pick
Yeah.
VCU?
Um, it's a combination of the area and also just like the area of study. Like the program here that I went to, they basically let you study like anything, which is like really cool, but there's not as many programs like that across the country that are good, and this is one of the few ones, so it's cool.
Sounds cool. I always wonder how people
Yeah.
get here. I'm like, why are you here? But
Yeah,
I'm glad
a lot
you came.
a lot of people ask that and they're like, why would you move here from Florida? And I'm like, have you been to Florida? Because I mean, I like it, but like it's not for everybody, and not every place is like where you are right now at this on this tropical paradise beach. Like a lot of it is just strip malls and like I don't know, regular malls. Like we still have regular malls there.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you came. But yeah.
Me too.
So what have you been up to lately?
Well, yesterday I bit my tongue on accident really hard. It's giving me a little bit of trouble. I have been losing my mind in quarantine. I'm not done. I've not been coping well. I don't know. I didn't think this was like the year I was like, I'm going to be self-reflective. I'm going to learn what type of person I am. And then I learned like, yeah, I'm naturally extroverted. I like to be around people. And then it was like, now go inside, Francesca, forever. So I've been here in this room socializing and teaching my classes from like one screen in my house.
So yeah, you said you're done teaching. Like, how is that going?
It went okay. Most of my teaching is, like it's college courses, so it's lectures and discussion. So it was really kind of difficult to bring it um on to online just because I was just like, okay, and now it's online, and a lot of my students were having trouble. Like some of them couldn't get like their stuff out of their dorm rooms, like that kind of thing. They were like, we don't have our book because we can't get back into the classroom, into our dorm rooms. And I was just like, oh, okay. So we have to figure out a way around that and all sorts of stuff. But it went okay.
That's good. I saw
Yeah.
the news they took some of the people's stuff out of their dorms and put it on the street. I was like, that's awful.
I saw that. And apparently they weren't really actually putting it on the street. I think the news was a little bit misleading. They did put it outside, but they were moving it all into storage. But I think like obviously if I saw that going on, I would be freaking out too, but they didn't tell them ahead of time. So I think that all got worked out, but I think some of them are still waiting for their things. Yeah. So it's a big mess.
Thanks. So what classes do you teach?
I teach 3, this past semester I taught 3 classes on intro to gender studies. So it's just like the very first class that you take in that department. And then I teach 1 upper level course on like kind of gender and culture. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I like it.
Okay, so I guess let's talk about your comedy. How would you describe your comedy?
Oh my gosh. I think probably very like manic. Also, it tends to be just, I'm always struggling with like, is someone gonna understand where I'm coming from? Because a lot of it is like very unique to like what's going on with me in my life. I think a lot of the times I worry about that being relatable, and then I'm like, whatever, I'll just try it and see what happens. That's kind of like my vibe right now. My comedy is like, I don't know if you've been feeling the same way, Sarah, but I'm just been like kind of like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to write about. Are people gonna find that I bit my tongue funny? I don't know. Because it's really weird to like not have mics to go to or shows to get ready for.
Yeah.
I haven't done any Zoom. Have you done any Zoom comedy shows yet?
Not yet, but I want you to be on the one that I want to do.
I want to do it. I definitely want to do it. I've watched a few and they were funny. They were really fun to watch, but I feel like it was probably a struggle for the performers because it's just like a bunch of people staring back at you like this.
Well, they can laugh.
And they can laugh, but some of them are muted and like they tell them to unmute them, but I'm like, I don't know if everyone was unmuting, you know what I mean? It's like awkward, but I don't know.
That's how I like it. So
I like awkwardness. I realize that sometimes I like doing a joke that I think is funny and other people think it's awkward. And like, I know it doesn't work, and to maybe make it funnier would be a good idea, but then I'll still tell that same joke because it gives me joy. I don't know if you do this too, but I definitely do. And I'm just like, well, maybe one day I'll figure it out, but I just like, it's just for me. Like I love humor like that. That's like really like niche and like just a joke that one other person would get. And I'm like, that's terrible. I'll never make it as like a real comedian because of that, but it's like, it gives me joy.
I think that's one of the worst things that happened to me because when I first started, if like one person laughed, I was like, oh my gosh. And I'd be like so excited. And then one day I had like this really good show where like everyone laughed at everything and like that never happened before. And then after that, you like want that like every time.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm just like, yay, that one person laughed.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like sometimes I say things and I just like to hear the way they sound and I'm like, I need to maybe like look at that. But it's really hard to not have an audience to kind of gauge some of the things.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see. Yeah. But I've been writing down new ideas and trying to say them, I guess, to myself and to my dog and the pineapple that I put googly eyes on.
I like that. Where's the pineapple?
Oh, it died. You can't just keep a pineapple around forever is what I learned. Yeah. It goes bad pretty fast. I thought we would have enough time to hang out with him and eat him, but it's kind of more like a Sophie's Choice situation. You got to kind of eat him or have him be your friend. Can't have both.
In a perfect world.
No. In a perfect world, yeah. I've been gardening a lot.
That's good. You could you could start off like talking really weird and then go into your thing about how you bit your tongue.
I could do that. I should maybe. I feel already though like it's going away, but I keep drinking things that I know are making it worse, but I can't stop. Like I'm drinking all this orange juice, but I can't stop drinking it. And I'm like, I probably should not be. It burns every sip.
So let's see. You had a quarantine birthday. So, like,
I did, and you were there. Yes.
Did you enjoy that?
That was actually really fun because like if people, and I'm not offended by this, but like, like when you're at a place and you kind of want to leave just because it feels like it's time, and you have to like awkwardly like say, hey, I'm leaving, or just like leave. I'm like never offended if people just leave.
Yeah. Eyes itching.
But I know that that is awkward for other people. But this way, they could just be like, I gotta go in the chat, and then just sign off, and it was fine. And it was just like very like seamless. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Me too.
Yeah, there was nothing to clean up really. There were no drunk people at my house. I guess I sound like a really big lame person, but I don't know. I just like, it was nice for it to be quiet after, and like I saw people. I kind of regret, we should have, which I want to try some other time, is like played a game, but all the games that we found were like kind of elaborate to set up. But I'd like to try some Zoom games if we're still doing this for a couple more weeks, which it seems like we might be. I don't know when things are going to open up again.
So what are Zoom games?
Like you could play, do you know the game Werewolf? Like one of those kind of games? Like the werewolf party game where like one person's a werewolf and like everyone, and like they know that they're the werewolf, and like everyone else is a villager or some other person. It's like just a dumb party game. But they have one called Two Rooms and a Boom, which is kind of made for like big groups of people at a party, and you just need to have like 2 rooms, but you can do rooms in Zoom. So I was thinking it could be like 2 Zooms in a boom. And it's basically like you have like a president and you have a bomber, and I think the presidents know that they're the president, and the bombers know that they're bombers, but everyone else is trying to figure out who is the bomber in your room, and who is like kind of, and how that's going on, and it's like really funny. It's hilarious. So because with those kind of games, always like whenever we play the werewolf game, everyone always thinks I'm the werewolf. And I'm not, but they're like, but I think you're lying. And I'm like, I don't know what it is about me that they're like, but I think you're the werewolf. I'm like, but I'm not. Yeah, so I wanted to play that, but you need to have like freaking like, I think at least 10 people in each side for 2 rooms and a boom. And I was like, this is too much to coordinate. Yeah. And people are doing trivia too, which no one has invited me to their trivia games. And I'm taking it a little personally because I love trivia.
We got that out there now. Guys, yeah. Invite Francesca.
Hello. Let me know. I'm not doing anything. I don't know what I'm doing with my life now.
You're doing this great comedy thing. So why'd you...
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is fun.
So why'd you decide to start performing stand-up comedy?
I did improv for a couple years and I really liked it, and I still really like it, but I'm bad at it. I'm really bad. Like I don't understand it. It's so confusing to me still. It's so amazing for me to watch really good improv because like it just blows me away. Like whatever that is that people have that can do that. I don't know. I think it's like having a good personality or something. I don't know, like being able to work in a team. Yeah, I don't have that. So I really have loved stand-up for a really long time. Like I was one of those people that would always just watch it any chance I could get. And so I wanted to try doing stand-up comedy, not thinking that I would like do it forever or anything, but wanted to try it, and then I started doing it more and more. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like improv too, but I'm better with stuff that's like planned.
Yeah, I just like, it makes me too, I'm like so in my head all the time, which I think makes you probably a good stand-up person because you're kind of always like thinking and processing and kind of going through all this stuff that you can then spit back out. But like with improv, I think there's like a weird instinctual thing that I'm just like, I don't understand this. We need to talk about this before it happens. Why are we not talking about this? We're just gonna go? Okay. And like I think I'm okay like I'm there for the ride and I want people to succeed. So I'm just like supportive. But as far as like coming up with my own characters on the spot and stuff, that makes me so freaked out. Yeah.
So where'd you do your first open mic?
First open mic I probably ever did. Oh, that's a good question. It might have been, I think the first one I did that wasn't like a coalition thing, maybe at Fallout was my first one that I ever did. It was either Fallout or I can't even think of where the other one might have been, or possibly doing it at Sarah Ahmed's Crossroads mic that she does after the showcase. Yeah, it might have been one or the other. I'm not sure.
So
Yeah,
you remember how it went?
I think it went okay. I remember like when I first started, that like people told me with like Fallout, just because there's like not that many people there, it kind of goes on for a really long time. It's like a it's an environment that is maybe not as conducive to comedy, to like keep my expectations really low when I first got there. So I'm like, I think I did fine. I don't really that one I don't really remember, because it was like 5 minutes of like something I'd spent like a really long time working on. So I know the jokes were funny and they were good, but like I can't remember if I like performed them well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a blur. Yeah.
So how do you come up with your joke ideas?
Mostly just writing kind of by myself. I tend to kind of just write down a bunch of ideas, just random things that I think are funny, that go through my head throughout the day. And then I take some time to like kind of try and form them into jokes later on. And then I find it really like helpful to do like some writing, like maybe before I'm going to open mic, if I have time to do that, like do a little writing session like before, or a lot of times, because I don't really like staying up super late, like getting to a venue early and writing there is helpful. Do a lot of writing in the before 4 times, I did a lot of writing in coffee shops and that kind of thing. Yeah.
So do you have like a best show you can think of?
Best show, I think some of the highlights, I think definitely, I did a show in Charlottesville at Petite Mary Bette, the French bakery, that's hosted by Carly Krickenberger. And I think that was one of the best shows I've done. I think that went phenomenally. I think I did about 15-20 minutes there, and that was great. I also think the last time I opened, Judah Freelander has been really helpful person, and just an awesome person in comedy in general. And we've known each other for a couple of years. I opened for him when he was here in Richmond, and that show went like amazing. Which was great, because I was just like, I need to do a good job, because I don't want to, like, I want this crowd to be warmed up and ready to go, because I don't want my friend to think I'm not funny. So thank God that went well. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So do you have like a worst show you can think of?
Worst show?
Yeah.
I think the first ever time, which thank God they've had me on since then, and I'm sure I'm probably harder on myself than I would be. The first ever show I did for Chicky Parm's show, so that's the drag show, that also has comics like kind of go in between the drag acts. I was just like out of my depth. I didn't know like what to do as far as like getting the audience's attention. I felt like I couldn't hear myself at all in that crowd, because it was like a bunch of like, it's more of like a nightclub vibe in there, because it's a drag show. I feel like that did not go well. I remember like beating myself up over that for like a bunch of times. I've come back like twice since then, and I know I've done a good job those other times, but I was like, oh, thank God I was able to do that show again, because I was just like, oh, this is not going well.
Oh, were they just like not paying attention?
It wasn't like anyone was like, you're not funny or anything like terrible. It was just like really hard to get anyone to pay any attention to me. And I think some of it was like not kind of like not listening to my own instincts, like just kind of, I kind of should have just like went with what I was feeling in the moment and not like worried so much about like, I'm not getting to like these jokes I wanted to do. I'm not getting to this. I should have done like some crowd work. I should have like at the beginning, I should have like kind of also told them to be quiet in like a nicer way up at the top. But I felt like it got really away from me really quickly. But like, I mean, that was a good lesson to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like my actual background is coming in and out.
It is. Well, if they let you back twice, I'm sure it was fine.
I just know it was not awesome.
So what's something people would be surprised to know about you?
Oh my gosh, that's such a good question. Let's see. I don't know. I feel like I'm just like everything I'll say will sound like I'm like trying to be quirky, and I'm not. I'm like, I really would rather, that's made me surprised. I would really rather be just like really average and really normal. I feel like it would be such an easier life. I think about this all the time, but it's like not, it's just like not who I am. And that would be fighting my true instincts. Like, I just like wish I had like a very beige life. I feel like that would be like so relaxing. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. What is the thing that people would be surprised about you?
Um, that if I get excited about something, I will talk a lot.
I feel like I don't think of you as like a non-talkative person.
But you see me doing stand-up.
I guess that's true.
Talk to me and I don't know you. I mean, if I know you, I'll talk to you like later. If it's one-on-one, I'm okay. If you put me in a group of a bunch of people I don't know, I'm not going to talk.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like that too. I feel like that's more like, I feel like that's like way more normal than like some of these other people. I don't know. There's like a lot of people that we probably know that are friends in common that are like, they're like, I'm extroverted, but like these people are like on a 10 all the time. You know what I mean? They're like very, very like gregarious and like really want to get to know other people. I feel like I like to talk to my people, but I feel like maybe I'm like a little bit shyer too.
Yeah. Well, I think that's true because most of my friends I think are extroverted because they all talk to me first. Because I would.
Yeah.
And then you get around a bunch of people and then they all talk and it's kind of like, okay.
And then it's like, okay, I'm quiet now. Yeah.
But yeah. So do you collect anything or like have any hobbies?
I really like, I've slowed down over the years, but I'm a huge reader, huge fan of books in general. So I have a small collection of like first edition books, like signed books, those kind of things. I love that kind of stuff. So yeah, I've got a bunch of books by like some of my favorite authors that have been like signed or I've like collected. Yeah. It's not like a super fancy valuable collection or anything, but I love it. Yeah. Yeah.
I saw
So
a lot of stuff on the social medias like are you a comic book writer or what do you
I've written like kind of a couple of short things before. I'm working on something new right now that's just in like the planning stages. But yeah, a comic that I created a couple years ago with my friend Sally Cantorino, was one we just self-published it, but it was one that like people I guess on the internet found and they liked it. So like someone on the Sci-Fi Channel has like a website where they like review stuff and talk about like nerd cultures, and someone actually wrote about it like in that website, so then that got it more attention than probably it ever would have, because it was just like a thing we basically did. Like I paid her for her time and stuff because she's the artist, but like we did it more for like fun or like as a creative like thing. We didn't think we were gonna make money off of it, and we still really didn't, but it was like it's cool because sometimes every so often, like because I still have it as a PDF online, every so often like someone will like buy the PDF and I'll see it like, oh, it's like I got another dollar. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, oh, it's funny that it's like still alive. Yeah.
That's cool. So do
Yeah.
you ever like illustrate stuff too, or?
I I'm getting back into drawing now, because we're in quarantine and I feel like I am like, you know, I feel like I'm in exile right now. So I'm like drawing, I'm like gardening, I'm like making another cup of tea. Like I'm like a little British old man like trapped in a cottage. But I don't know if I'll ever be able to like draw and like write and illustrate like a whole comic. Because I draw like one little sketch. I'm like, it's a lot of work. It's like really hard. So I've been kind of looking at stuff with, I'm playing a D&D campaign right now with a bunch of my friends, and I was like illustrating their characters just as a fun thing. And I'm like, these are actually like kind of like not bad. So so I want to do something with them whenever I'm like done drawing them, but we'll see how that happens. Yeah.
So how did all that come about? Like, what started you into doing that?
I was just really bored, and with D&D, like, you know, you can, especially if we're playing through Zoom, like I can kind of listen and still keep up, but you can't really like do anything else while you're doing it. So just doodling was like a good way of like paying attention. I think a lot of people kind of doodle to pay attention though. Yeah.
Well, how'd you start the comic book thing?
Comic book stuff that probably started, gosh, a long time ago now. I took some classes on like drawing comics and making comics back in Florida, like before I moved to Richmond. And I kind of like have kept up with like, I don't know, just reading about them and wanting to write them for a while. But yeah, actually creating them, I haven't made that much stuff. It's really only kind of probably the last like 5 years or so that I've been like kind of more interested in like, let's make this like a real thing if we can try and see. Yeah, it's been kind of cool.
Did you win something, or was that something else?
Um,
You're on Facebook that you won something. I didn't know if it was related to that.
oh, what did I win? I don't even know what I won.
It wasn't recent. I remember you were at some kind of, was it like,
Oh yeah, that was cool. That's so weird to think about because that was, now it's like it's only been a year, but like I feel like that was another time. That was like a scholarship award, but you know what I mean? Like that was only about a year ago, but like who knows if that conference that we went to is going to happen this year. You know what I mean? Like who knows? Because I think that one happens every like year and a half. But yeah, that was one for my dissertation that I wrote. So that's about comics. It's not like I made a comic dissertation, but I wrote about them. Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, thank you. I can't believe how it's scary to think about how many things are canceled or might be canceled this year. Like, I don't know. I noticed on your YouTube, you have like all these cool interviews with like famous people at like event things. Did you just like talk to them like after shows and stuff?
Or like, I don't know, I just ask them.
You just ask them? That's so cool. Yeah.
There's a lot of people asked too that don't respond, so I'm glad that they responded. That was nice.
But yeah, but that's really cool. But it's like, it's weird to think like, I don't know, like I can't think of the last show I went to, but it's like, it's weird to think like, are there not going to be any bands playing this year?
Yeah,
What's going to happen? Yeah.
it sounds like there's not going to be concerts anytime soon.
I don't know. Yeah, even outdoor ones. And I'm like, I guess like there'd be no way of that working. Like I was trying to figure out how someone could do it, make it at least safer, but who knows?
Yeah, I almost didn't go the one I went to in February just because I was like, I don't know. No one wanted to go with me, and I was like, I don't really know if I want to go myself, but I'm glad I did now because who knows when there'll be like another concert.
I went, do you remember like your last meal at a restaurant?
I got Cheesecake Factory to go. It's like, yeah.
I think that counts.
Yeah.
But I was trying to think of like what's the last thing I ate, and did I know it was going to be like my last meal out in the public? Because I mean, everyone has takeout. Like we can still do takeout, but it's not the same. And I realized it was like getting like lamplighter coffee and like a soup and salad at lamplighter. That was like the last thing I ate, and then everything shut down.
Yeah. Have you got anything since this started?
I've been trying to cook at home a lot, which is mostly fine, but sometimes I'm just like, oh, why do I just have ingredients? I don't have any food. Like I don't have any food to just make. But I've gotten Cobra Cabana a couple of times. No, I've gotten it exactly once. And I've gotten Saison Market, I think twice. And that's kind of all I've really been. Oh no, but there's also a coffee shop by my house that's still open, and they've been doing like kind of curbside pickup type stuff. It's very kind of like, you feel like maybe you're doing a drug deal or something. They come out and they like have already gotten like all of your money and payment stuff, and they just kind of hand it to you with gloves on in the parking lot, and you just kind of drive away. And I'm like, this is weird. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm somewhere else. Like, I don't know where, but like not here. And it's like, if I can just make it a few more days, I'll be home soon.
Yeah, that's so real. That's a really good way of like putting it. It's a little like, okay, like I'm ready for camp to be over now.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't done that yet. I'm kind of, yeah, like you said, I feel like it'd be weird.
It's weird. What was weirder is taking my dog to the vet.
Oh.
They do the same thing, at least my vet office did, where like they weren't letting any people into the veterinary office. You pulled up in your car with your dog, and your dog got clipped on like its collar with like one of their leashes, and they just take the dog away.
Oh.
And then call you over the phone, and they're like, and they were just like, yeah, your dog's fine. You want him to get these shots? And I was like, sure. And then he comes back out. And it was just like, what just happened to you? What? Yeah, it was very weird.
I'm glad your dog was okay.
Yeah, he's perfectly fine.
So you've done a lot. So is there anything you'd like to accomplish or try that you haven't done yet?
I would like to keep my sanity intact over this quarantine time. I really want to do like, I've been in the middle of like kind of figuring out stuff with planting. Like I really want to plant a whole bunch of veggies in the garden. That's like a big project I want to do this kind of summer. We'll see how that turns out. So far, the only things that have been sprouted have been sunflowers. So there might just be like a lot of sunflowers in my backyard, and I don't understand how that happened. But yeah, I want to like do more shows. I really want to make YouTube videos and like get better at doing that kind of stuff, because I'm just very bad at technology. And I thought it would be like a good thing to learn, because I just feel like we're gonna have to get more tech savvy as things are going, because I don't see us having issues like not being able to meet in person. Like, while I do think things will get better, and hopefully they'll get better soon, I think we might have the same issue again, say another big outbreak happens. So I want to be like kind of more ready. Yeah.
Cool. So you have a podcast called, You're Making Me Hungry?
You're Making Me Hungry, and we need to, it's my fault. I've been slacking because I was doing school stuff. We need to get back on having recording stuff for it. We have a couple of episodes recorded that just need intros that I need to get on there. Yeah, I do that with Tom Hall, who just started making like jams and jellies as his own little business, and they're really delicious. And so I'm excited to like maybe like, you know, get some of his jams and then do an episode about them. It's exciting. Yeah, and then I ran for a while, and I guess still technically run. Hopefully it'll be able to happen again. Late night snack at Sticky Rice with Mike Engel. Hopefully we'll be able to have people do live comedy again soon. Yeah, I really miss doing that show. I was thinking about it the other day. It's just like, it gave me like an excuse to stay up super late on Sundays and do all sorts of things. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I had you both on too, so yay.
Yeah. Mike's album is so funny. I know I was watching y'all's conversation, and it looks so fun. I love that Mike was like in his like basement lair.
He gave me a tour.
Yeah, that's a cool basement. Yeah.
Cool. So what makes you hungry?
Everything. I can basically always eat, which is one of my favorite things about myself. I just made for lunch today, I made like an Italian sausage mushroom risotto, and let's see, I really like all kinds of chips. Let's see, I do like some things that are weird health food things, but I actually like think they taste good. Like kale chips, I've heard that people think are gross. I love kale chips. I could eat like an acre of them, like a cow. Like it would be so good. I like spicy food a lot. And let's see, basically any pizza. I can eat like any pizza. Yeah. I'm not I like some fancy foods, but I'm not a snob. Like, get me a good chicken finger. Then like a good honey mustard. I feel like that's good. Yeah. I haven't had like any sushi for a while because I've really kind of tried not to eat out. Starting to miss that. So that might need to be a thing that I need to rectify. Get some takeout from Sticky Rice. Yeah.
So is there anything else you'd like to add or tell anyone?
I don't know. I like Sarah Pip Rose very much. I don't know. It's like so weird. I feel like maybe this is not a good thing, but I feel like to make everyone be my friends, I make them do like projects with me. Like I made Tom do this podcast, and Mike does comedy with me. And I was just like, how can I see my friends? And I was like, please interview me. Talk. It's more to have people to talk to, Sarah.
Did it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, before you go, let's let the people know where they can find you on like social media and stuff.
Okay, yeah. My name on pretty much everything is at Francesca Lyn. So yeah, just the way my name is spelled. I am Francesca Lyn Comedy on Facebook. If you want to like that Facebook page, you don't have to like my comedy Facebook page. There's not a lot of action going on there right now. Not a lot of book shows coming up, although I hear that might change soon. Yeah, so on Twitter, Instagram, I'm at Francesca Lyn. I also started a YouTube page, but it's more of like educationally videos. Although I did post like one funny one about kind of just like being a professor right now in quarantine. And then if you just search on YouTube, it's just Professor Lyn. And I'm going to be putting more stuff on there, even though I kind of realize like editing videos of yourself is kind of the worst. I'm just looking at, I'm like, dude, did I always make that face? Do I always talk like that? What's going on? So that's where I am. Yeah.
Cool. So is your podcast on your Facebook and everything?
Yeah, that is. But also it's on iTunes or anywhere else to get podcasts from, and it's just called You're Making Me Hungry.
Cool. Well, yay. Yeah. Well, it's good to see you. Thanks.
It's good to see you.